Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. True Nostalgia here, and it's a rainy day. And on rainy days, I can't help but think back on my childhood when I used to go to the arcade. And it was a simpler time. It was a much more civilized age where you didn't have all this nonstop activism and political garbage and people getting offended over everything. You can't say that word. How dare you? That word was only okay to say 10 years ago. Don't you know you have to be treated like a child now? You can't speak that way anymore. And you can't escape it. It's in everything. I mean, if just pick your favorite show. Well, they probably remade it and made it woke. Or your favorite movie or your favorite video game IP. It's been done to the point where it just demoralizes you, man. I mean, and that's a lot of people don't talk about this. I've seen a lot of videos about people talking about how we should go back and just play these older games. But what they don't ever seem to mention is that all the shit going on today is 100% there to demoralize you and to piss you off. It's nihilism cranked up to 1,000. It goes to 11, right? It's awful. And it's just a nice place to escape into your childhood and forget about all that dumb shit for a little while. And what do I mean by it? Well, what you're looking at right now, it's called Arcade Time Capsule. And it's a really awesome app. It's free. I mean, obviously you have to track down the ROMs yourself and you know, you got to dump them into a folder. It's pretty basic. Anybody can do it, really. And just have a controller that works. You can map out the buttons and everything. I'll be linking a tutorial for you guys to check that out if you're interested in this space, and you should be, because I recommend it for your mental health, man. All right, okay? Because this constant bombardment of bullshit, and it's in everything. Even in my small niche community of EverQuest Online Adventures, which is an obscure PlayStation 2 MMO with a very small community, we have activists in our community. We have people that tried to cancel me because I said a word that never really offended many people, even 5, maybe 10 years ago. Melanie Mack was talking about this. It's funny because I realized she had the same problem like 6 months ago. They tried to cancel her. They went after her because she said a word.
So I made the cancel pigs mad again. Uh-oh, oopsie. On Twitter/X, whatever the heck you want to call it. And they are throwing a huge tantrum over something I said.
Melanie Mack is such a homophobe. Oh my gosh, she's such a transphobe. Oh no, what are we gonna do? You know what? I am a Christian and I believe that homosexuality and transsexuality is a sin. Now, if you are fine with me believing that and you still want to be my friend, you are welcome to do so and I will still love you. But just note that I will be hoping and praying that one day you can turn from your sin and find Jesus so that you can go to heaven. If you're totally fine with that, cool. Let's be friends. If you're not, goodbye.
And it's just ridiculous. It's infantile garbage. And like I said, it seems to follow you everywhere you go. Monsters and Memories is a game I'm really interested in. And just the other morning, I was taking a look at something the guys were saying, and they were mentioning, yeah, man, we're all like autists in the MMO community. We all have autism. And of course, somebody had to chime up and say, guys, do we really have to be ableists over here? It reminds me of that. I don't know if you've ever been at work and you're just shooting the shit with some dudes around a water cooler, and along comes some brown noser and overhears you saying something inappropriate. I'm going to tell the boss on you guys. You can't say that. That's forbidden. You just want to slap them and tell them, get out of here. Grow a pair. Okay? I come from a generation where everybody weren't all snowflakes. You know, sticks and stones, that kind of thing. It's just horrible. And a lot of the people who push that wokeness, that virtue signaling garbage, they just do it because they want to belong to something. They want to have some position of authority over other people. They want to feel important. They want to feel like they're the ones that are in control of the situation, and they want to just try to virtue signal their shit all over everybody. And it's super irritating. And I don't like being lectured when I play a video game. Like, I watched the trailer for The Woke Within for World of Warcraft. And it's checking all the boxes. You know, you've got this strong, independent black woman who's missing an arm. And you compare that trailer to something like Warlords of Draenor, or you even go back to like early Warcraft, the RTS stuff, and it's just testosterone-fueled badassery. And you look at modern stuff, and it's all pussified. It's so beta, soft, and it just makes my skin crawl. Like, I need to listen to an hour of like Kill, Switch, Engage, Fear Factory, and hang out in the arcade to get the stench off of me. From watching this kind of shit, I'm so fed up with it, man. And in the most recent trailer, they show like Lady Boss Spider, Girl Boss Spider, who betrays Girl Boss Spider at the behest of another Girl Boss, who no doubt during the final patch is going to be defeated by Girl Boss. It's basically all Girl Boss garbage. Blizzard started doing this stuff a number of years ago. They removed male and female and put body type 1 and 2 in there, and they got they had the Dragonflight garbage, and everything's like all androgynous looking and just awful. And yeah, man, I'm tired of it. And there's no reason for you to have to deal with it because we have so many amazing games. I'm standing in a VR arcade looking around, seeing all the stuff that I used to play. I can put MP3s in here and play any of the 80s and 90s music or 2000s music, anything I want to put in here, and just help me de-stress from all of this shit. That's what I want you guys to do. I don't want you to constantly be stressed everywhere you go, being lectured and feeling demoralized in the doom and gloom of modern society, because there are so many games for you to play. You've got everything going back to Atari, leading up to like PS3 era. I recommend you stick with the PS3 era and back, because after that it starts to get a little preachy with the critical race garbage and all of that. But yeah, there's even Silent Hill 2. If you've seen what Bloober's doing with that, they're making it for a modern audience. It's been confirmed. So if you're a Silent Hill 2 fan like myself, and you really love the vision of Team Silent, the original devs, who, let's be honest here, before the wokeness ever crept in, Silent Hill went downhill rapidly after that team was gone. The same thing with Blizzard. You get rid of the original devs. I mean, Blizzard, they used to actually love MMOs. They made games, and you can say what you want about the controversy about Blizzard. I'm not here to talk about that. But these guys, when they made games that they wanted to play. They themselves had played EverQuest.
So you guys met through EverQuest.
Yeah.
And then here you guys are at Blizzard making massively multiplayer online games.
Yeah, totally. All three of us met through EverQuest. I think EverQuest was a brilliant game. In a lot of ways, it kicked off a lot of what's going on right now.
And they wanted something a little bit more accessible, something that would appeal to a wider audience. And I know some of my EQA fan base absolutely hates the fact that I play classic WoW, but I love it. I think it's great. You know, after Wrath of the Lich King, it kind of starts to, but that's neither here nor there. But what I'm trying to say to you is there are so many games that you missed. There's so many games that I missed. You couldn't possibly play them all in a single lifetime. So why should we lay down $70 a game to be preached to about how awful we are by people who hate us? Can I ask you that? What's the point? Why? I mean, unless you're one of those people who has to have the new hotness. I mean, I get it. I was like that for a while. But it's just ridiculous. You don't have to live like that, man. You've got options. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You don't have to be kicked in the balls constantly and told that, you know, you've got guilt and blood in your past and you're a horrible person and you should feel horrible about it. You bigot, you racist, you homophobe. You don't have to deal with it. Even Silent Hill 2 has its own fan remaster, which made the official Konami HD remake look terrible, by the way. They got the fog right. They got everything right. It looks beautiful. There's no reason to wait around and play somebody's woke rendition of what they think it should be. I mean, and I will say it, the graphics and everything, I think it looks stylistically pretty cool. But they're going to change things, like they made Angela fat and they're doing all this stupid stuff. Maria's not as seductive anymore, and they're covering her up, which goes completely against the lore of why she exists. And if you don't know anything about that, spoiler alert, the reason why Maria is so sultry looking is because James is feeling guilty over the fact that he was feeling sexually repressed when his wife was dying of cancer. And, you know, that's the representation of what he couldn't have at that time and why he was so frustrated. So that's why Maria is dressed so seductively, and they just completely throw that out the window. They're like, yeah, it doesn't matter what the original devs wanted to do with this psychological masterpiece. Let's throw that in the dumpster because, you know, frumpy women don't like it. It makes them feel bad if she's sexy and she looks good. So let's make everything ugly. And this is not the first time they've made everything ugly. I talk about Weimar Republic over here on the channel frequently because it's very relevant to our modern times. One of the things that the Germans were complaining about during that time is how they took all their art and made it ugly. They took all these things and made them basically anti-German and did everything they could to try to destroy their society from the inside out. That is something that happened. If you're not aware of that, I covered this documentary, and I called it When Nations Fall, Echoes of Weimar Republic. I recommend you watch the documentary of the subject matter beforehand, because I pause it a lot. And some people might find that annoying. But yeah, this is an ancient problem. And it's not like something that just popped up one day, man. It's carefully planned out. And if you think that I'm, in conspiracy land here, just do the research. Look into these things and you'll see that it's true. So don't subject yourself to this psychological abuse. There's no reason for it. There's plenty of games to play. Like I said, I've got the PS2 emulator hooked up over here. I've got Champions of Norath. I got GTA 3. I mean, the first time I started driving around in GTA 3 in the beginning, it took me right back to. I was back in 2001 again. And as soon as the radio station started up, it's just right in the feels, man. It's like a critical hit in the feels. It's like, man, why did I ever leave? I don't know. I didn't mean to. I guess the world just went on, and now everything sucks. So I'm back again. There's so many different games for you to play, and you don't have to feel like crap for existing. And a lot of this stuff is there to get you angry, to provoke a reaction from you. So yeah, like I said, this stuff, this arcade right here that I'm standing in, is extremely therapeutic. It's going to help you get through these dark days. And yeah, I give a crap about people, and I don't want to see them being beaten over the head for being born and not thinking like the woke mind virus wants you to think. But at this point, I want to turn it over to you guys. Get down in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this. How have you been coping with all of this garbage going on today? Leave a thumbs up if you liked it. If you're new here, I ask that you please subscribe. Click that notification bell. God bless. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Now I'm going to go play some arcade games until the wife gets home and I got to bring groceries in the house.